Hello, let me introduce you to not a new idea, but something that many people have done. Trading up, the process of taking one car and swapping it for another. There are other definitions of this as well, but the one I'm going to go for is taking a car, making it slightly better, then putting it up for swaps. Obviously, a price needs to be included in this as well, but the ultimate gain is to take this rather tatty looking Mercedes, make it look nice, in other words, tart it up, and swap it for something else. From this distance, this Mercedes C-Class looks like quite a tidy motor, but go a bit closer and you'll spot a few faults. Yep, it's full of scratches and dents and rough bits and interior issues. But today, the main three things I'm going to concentrate on are dealing with a boost leak. I presume that's what it is, because when you put your foot down, it sounds like a snake having a panic attack, and it doesn't go that well, and it chuffs out a bit of smoke. Maybe a couple of scratches, but more than anything, getting rid of these stickers that make it look like a minicab. It might seem like a small, insignificant thing, but I got home last night, I took my wife and girls out in this, and the first thing they said was, it reminds them of a minicab. Let's get rid of that. Everything under there seems to be really rather tight, but I found the bottom boost pipe going to the intercooler. I could tighten up a bit more. So I'm going to give it a little quick blast down the road and see if that's made any difference. But honestly, I think it might be the intercooler itself that's got a split in it. Still the same. Pity about that. But I'll move on to something else, which is diagnostics. The engine management light is on, which is probably caused by this boost leak in the first place, but I'm going to plug it in.
Unbeknownst to him, his father is visiting.
Right, okay, no communication. I'm going to have to take the front bumper off to get a proper look at this. In the meantime, let's see if I can remove a scratch or three. I'm going to start with this one and that one. Both relatively easy to see from the moon. I don't have any paint in the correct code, but I do have some just black paint. If I can just feed a little bit of paint into it, even so it bubbles out somewhat, then I can polish it back and the scratch may well not be so evident. Yep, I think that's worked quite well actually. That gloss black enamel paint and a cable tie. Can I do a similar job with this? It is definitely the intercooler. New intercooler tomorrow. That's not going to arrive until Thursday. So in the meantime, as well as other things that I do around here that I don't always tell you about, I'm going to see if I can get rid of some of this rough paint and see how well my scratch repair's done. I originally thought the boot was just dusty, but it's not. It's got contaminated stuff stuck all over it, probably from being sat under a tree for a long time. I'm going to try a patch of it with this stuff here, and if it works, I'll do the rest of it. I think I can safely say it's going to need a bit more than just a bit of elbow grease, as that appears to be actually paint. It's been painted. Not very well. I can fix that. With the low-level boost issue that this car is having, it's also not providing particularly good fuel economy, averaging about 35 miles per gallon. But there are a couple of features on this car that I'm starting to like this. Now that is useful. And in the boot, we see a large rectangular box. Inside this box is the solution to the problem. A brand new intercooler. I've just got to fit it. And fit it before it rains. Because even if it does start raining, once I'm committed to it, I'm going to have to continue. Mercedes face off. And now we can see the extent of the damage to this intercooler. Yeah, it looks a bit knackered to me. Now that is some swollen goods. Although it's only split in one place, which is there. Well, that's more than enough. It's quite a big gap there. I could have possibly fixed it, but what's happened to it? Why has it done it? What kind of a life has this intercooler had to end up like that? So now all I've got to do is put the new one on before it rains. It's already started raining. I'm going to muddle through regardless of how wet I get. I'm going to try and enjoy it as well. And there's the new one, which it looks almost exactly the same as the old one, except without the damage. Brilliant. Clips into place without too much hassle. Put it all back together, and now I'm going to reset that trip computer to see whether I can get any better than 35 miles per gallon. Oddly enough though, the engine management light is now on, whereas it was on slightly before, but not all of the time. What could that mean? Well, obviously the hiss has gone, and it does feel more responsive. Still chucking out a lot of smoke though. I keep forgetting it's got 6 gears. Driving it around in 5th everywhere. I'm always wary of my own work. The 2 Jubilee clips that keep the intercooler in place, one of them broke up to buggery. So I've had to replace it with a normal Jubilee clip. It's quite a thick one, and it should do the job because it's, you know, there's a ridge in there in the first place for the pipe to actually sit in. And hopefully it will stay sat in there and not find itself popping off. 1 mile in and I'm up to 39 miles per gallon. However, I'm thinking I should take it up Blackstone Edge because of, you know, that's the real test of torque and temperature management. And in the first video about this car, which was actually the only video, I did suggest that the temperature gauge seems a little bit erratic. So that could mean that there's a blockage in the system, or it could mean that it's just moody. Going to be a bit careful because the last time I took a car up here, having done a fix, I ended up with a speeding ticket through no fault of my own. Only joking. No, I did end up with a speeding ticket, but obviously it was my fault. How could it possibly be anybody else's? So the test of will it overheat going up a hill, I mean, you can't not go up hills, you have to go up hills. That's part of getting to places, especially around here where there are lots of hills. That is much more responsive. It's not going to be less responsive having put a new intercooler on, is it? No, it's not. Here it is then, Blackstone Edge, that road up there. Ready for the 5th gear challenge, but this car has 6 gears rather than 5. It's pulling all right. I haven't revved it yet though. No, it's picking up quite nicely. It's got a bit of shove actually. More shove than an old lady in a post office. Now being slowed down by a Skoda. Fair enough. He's probably not doing, or she by the looks of it, they might not be doing the Blackstone Edge challenge. And because of that, I've gone down below my boost, so, and now I'm down to 35 miles per gallon, but then a big chunk of this is going up a hill. Going up hills uses more fuel than going down hills. I bet you already knew that. Goes along all right actually, and the temperature gauge has behaved itself. What it's done is gone right to the middle and then just up a little tiny bit. And I remember Mercedes always seemed to do that. Don't know why they decide that's the That's all right. Okay, I think that's a test drive over and done with. It's also a conclusion that it works. It's good. I'm happy with that. Let's then get that miles per gallon back up, because it's gone down to 33 now after that big hill. What about the rest of the car? Well, the windscreen wipers are definitely working. The grill's a bit better fit. Not by me, actually. Fix-It Carl just had a look at it and went, I think you've got to do this with it. And he was right, because that worked. And then it went off again when I took the bumper off, and I just went, and it went back right again. So I'm reasonably happy with that kind of progress. My touch-up job on all of the scratches has gone okay. It's not quite the same black, but they look better than white. It's like when people paint their alloys black. The moment they get a scuff, they look horrible. I mean, they don't look great if you've got a scuff on a silver wheel, but you don't notice it anywhere as much as you do on a black one. Black paint, not for clumsy people. Al's Detailing are offering 25% off detailing services for anyone who's a channel member, and you can be a channel member very, very easily. You've just got to click the link in the description. I reckon you should do it. One of my long-term viewers, Windy Miller, said you can bumble around in relative anonymity, and I agree. That's exactly what it is. And this car's kind of charmed me a little bit. I can't quite put my finger on it, but it's just as a real relaxed feel about it that I like. Oh, and also, I've discovered it's got bi-xenon headlamps. I've never had that before. I've had xenon headlamps once, but not bi-xenons. I was going to see if I could just fix the old one, but Alan insisted on buying a new one. So now the decision is on me to make, do I keep the car, or do I try the trading up thing that I originally thought of? Because since having this car for nearly a week now, I've actually grown to really like it. Besides the fact that it's not an estate car, and obviously I can't take the dog anywhere with me, it's just really rather pleasant. And I like it a lot more now it goes properly. It goes without saying, except that I am saying it, so it doesn't go without saying, but thank you for watching. Thank you for being a subscriber and a channel member and somebody who comments and somebody who likes. But if you pressed dislike and then went onto your second channel to press dislike again, giving this video only about 10 seconds worth of view time, I am not your friend. There's only one person doing that. Bye-bye. Will I trade? Will I keep? You're just not going to find that out at the moment, because I don't even know myself. But the next episode, maybe that information will be given freely. It's worthwhile mentioning yet again that Al's Detail, Jesus, you fucking idiot, nearly ran up my arse then. What a